afternoon.
How important is prayer to you?
Well, prayer has been a very important part of my life from ever since I was growing up. My mother always, teach us how to pray, and she going to church, always bring us behind her, and therefore we learned the importance of prayer.
Have you ever tested prayer of anything ever happened in your life that you have to say, all right, I'm going to pray for this to change?
Oh yes, there are many instances in my life where God has come through for me in prayer. For instance, I was without a job, and that was a couple years back in my youthful time. I remember my mother went to fasting on a Friday, and she came back and she was telling me about this particular young man who was in need of a job. And he was at the fasting and they prayed. And the following Friday, he came back with response that he got so many replies that he could have only accepted one. Therefore, I was saying to myself, if God can do that for him, then he can do it for me. And so I believe, not very long from there, things changed in my life. I went overseas from then, and as a young man coming up, we always want to acquire our home at an early stage. So how do I acquire such? Believing in God, and therefore I was praying about it. However, it did not come at the time when I wanted it, but at the time where God sees it right. However, there was a particular Sunday when I was at church, and I was there, just reached by church, and one of my elderly sisters, she walked up to me and said, I have a piece of land that I would want to give to you, but it's a split level land. And I had in return to her and asked her, what you're giving me, is it not a land? And I said, sure, I will work on it. And from there, and that's, God answered my prayer, and through that piece of land, I was able to acquire my home.
Thank God. God did answer your prayer, and
He
your
does.
prayers were.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.